Welcome to Euro Bangla City SATV News. This is Shibala Alam with our headlines. Bangladesh Bureau of Statistics for the first time will collect demographic and biometric data for all citizens. BNP chairperson Khaltazia's jail term suspension in 2 corruption cases extended for 6 more months. Journalists will demonstrate nationwide September 23rd, protesting BFRU move seeking bank account details. The Bangladesh Bureau of Statistics (BBS) for the first time will collect demographic and biometric data of all citizens. In today's National Population Register (NPR) workshop, the new initiative was discussed in detail. NPR will indefinitely store all data and assign each resident with a 16-digit identification number, according to BBS. Planning Minister M.A. Manan at the workshop stated that privacy should be dealt with caution. Shamsul Alam, the State Minister for Planning, said a specific timeline should be established and maintained to complete the work. The government has extended a freeze on the jail sentences of BNP chief Khaltazia by 6 more months in 2 corruption cases. Home Minister Zaman Khan Kamal today said in the media on Sunday that Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has approved the proposal. The Home Ministry will issue a gazette notification to this end today. The decision is being taken as per Section 401(1) of Code of Criminal Procedure. According to sources, Khaltazia will receive treatment staying in country and will not be allowed to travel abroad during the release period. Earlier on March 25, 2020, the 76-year-old BNP chief was released from jail for 6 months upon an executive order considering her age and humanitarian ground following an application by her family. A Dhaka court on Sunday set October 31st for holding hearing on charge framing in Boropukuria coal mine graft case against BNP chairperson Begum Khaltazia and 15 others. Today was fixed for holding the indictment hearing, but Judge A.H.M. Ruhul Imran of Dhaka Special Judge Court 2 had to reset the date as Begum Khaltazia once again failed to appear before the court because of her poor health condition. The Anti-Corruption Commission ACC on February 26, 2008 filed the graft case against Khaltazia and 15 others with Shahbag Police Station. ACC Deputy Director Mohammad Abul Qasim Fokir on October 5, 2008 filed charge sheet in the case. They were accused of causing a loss of Taka 159 crore to the state exchequer by awarding a contract for operation of Boropukuria coal mine to the Chinese company through abuse of power. Journalists will demonstrate across the country on September 23rd, protesting Bangladesh's Financial Intelligence Unit's BFRU move seeking bank account details of 11 journalist leaders. Mullah Jalal, president of a faction of Bangladesh Federal Union of Journalists BFUJ, announced the program while holding a protest at Dhaka's Jatiya Press Club. Leaders of Jatiya Press Club, 2 factions of BFUJ, Dhaka Union of Journalists DUJ and Dhaka Reporters Unity DRU were at the program. On September 12, BFRU issued letters to all banks seeking account details of 11 prominent journalists who had different platforms. Journalist leaders have previously stated that seeking bank account detail is unprecedented, defamatory and ill-motivated. A Dhaka court on Sunday rejected a plea moved by Prothom Alo senior reporter Rojina Islam seeking the return of her passport, 2 mobile phones and PID card. Additional Chief Metropolitan Magistrate Abu Bakr Siddiqui passed the order after Rojina and her lawyer appeared before it. Rojina had filed the petition before the court on September 15. Sunday was fixed by the court for passing an order on the petition. Charges of stealing official documents and taking photographs of documents were brought against Rojina Islam, an award-winning investigative journalist who was kept confined allegedly by some health ministry officials for 5 long hours inside an official's room at the Secretariat on May 17. An FIR was filed against Rojina under the Official Secrets Act and Section 379 and 411 of the Penal Code of the complaint filed by the Health Services Division with Shahbag Police Station. A Dhaka court today sent suspended Deputy Inspector General DRG of Prisons Prothom Banik to jail after he surrendered before it in a case filed over recording Taka 80 lakh from his home in Dhaka. Judge Sheikh Alam of the Special Judges Court 4 of Dhaka passed the order after Partha surrendered before the court as per the direction from the High Court. On September 2nd, the High Court bench led by Justice M. Inayatur Rahim delivered a short verdict scrapping an order of Judge Muhammad Iqbal Hussain of the Dhaka Special Judges Court 5 that granted Partho bail in the corruption case, saying it was done in an unusual manner. Delivering the judgment of an appeal, the bench also ordered the suspended DRG to surrender before the trial court concerned by September 20th in connection with the case. Today is the 50th birth anniversary of iconic Tollywood actor Salman Shah. Salman Shah was known as the Prince of Tollywood. The young hero has won the hearts of his fans through his fabulous performances on the screen. To mark a day in a befitting manner, different socio-cultural organizations chalked out elaborate programs across the country. Besides, satellite television channels of the country also telecasted and set a quality program to pay tribute to the late superstar. Sharia Chaudhary Imon, who is better known as Salman Shah, was born in Sylhet on September 19 in 1971. Salman quickly became the nation's heartthrob since his debut in Qiyamot Theke Qiyamot, and his tragic end only brought him closer to the audience who continued to celebrate his legacy. Now we bring you to the international story updates. Yemen's Iran-hacked militia said that the authorities had executed 9 men who were convicted of involvement in the 2018 killing of the then armed group top civilian leader Saleh alSamad. Meanwhile, the execution of 9 civilians in Yemen, including a 17-year-old minor, at the hands of the Iran-backed Houthis should be considered a terrorist crime, Yemen's Prime Minister of Information said. The massacre is an escalation that recalls Iranian mullah's execution of its opponents and launch of mass killing of opponents of its coup and use of the judiciary under its control as a tool. It would settle its political scores, terrorize its opponents, politicians, media and journalists, he added. Meanwhile, Myanmar anti-junta dissidents have carried out a bomb attack on security forces near Yangon, with several killed in an ensuing firefight, the militia and the media said. The Southeast Asian nation has been in a turmoil since the military toppled Aung San Suu Kyi's elected government in February, sparking mass pro-democracy protests and the bloody crackdown by the military. Meanwhile, various townships across Myanmar have formed so-called People Defence Forces to fight back against the junta, although the majority of clashes have been reported in rural areas. Both groups fired back and a member of the security forces was injured, the statement said, adding the firearms and ammunition were confiscated after the clash. However, local media reported that the least 2 dissidents were killed and 1 arrested. A story from Biden administration. U.S. authorities moved some 2,000 people to other immigration processing stations from a Texas border town. The Department of Homeland Security DHS said on Saturday that it has been overwhelmed by an influx and Haitian and other migrants. In a statement, DHS said that such transfer will continue in order to ensure that irregular migrants are swiftly taken into custody, processed and removed from the U.S. consistent with the laws and policy. However, while some migrants seeking jobs and safety have been making their way to the U.S. for weeks or months, DHS said that in response to the migrants, sheltering is increasingly poor condition under the Del Rio International Bridge. However, it was accelerating flights to Haiti and other destinations within the next 72 hours. Besides, DHS added it was working with a nation where the migrants began their journeys for many of the Haitian countries such as Brazil and Chile to accept return migrants. Meantime, US vaccine experts are advising against administering Pfizer booster shots to young adults and teens over safety concern. The majority of the US FDA's Vaccine and Related Biological Products Advisory Committee on Friday voted against a nationwide booster shot campaign for all ages, especially when not enough data has been compiled to guarantee the shot's efficacy and safety. For the booster campaign due to start next week, experts advised doling out the shots to only high-risk group first through 65 and over and healthcare workers. Life-size carving of camels and horses hewn into the rock faces in Saudi Arabia could be around 7,000 years old, according to new research that suggests they are significantly older than previously thought. The new research by Saudi and European institutions used a variety of different methods, including analyzing tool marks and erosion pattern as well as X-ray technology, and suggests the relief around 7,000 to 8,000 years old. This would mean that the area of carving known as the camel site is likely home to the oldest surviving large-scale animal reliefs in the world, the study said. In the era that it was created, the region would have looked very different to the arid landscape of today, with a savanna-like grassland dotted with lakes and trees where wild camels roamed and were hunted. A historic mission by the American company SpaceX ended successfully on Saturday with the safe return of 4 tourists who became the first all-civilian crew to orbit the Earth. After 3 days in orbit on board the SpaceX crewed Dragon capsule, they splashed down off the coast of Cape Canaveral, Florida in the Atlantic Ocean. Billionaire Jared Isaacman, who paid for all 4 seats on the trip and commanded the capsule, showed the private space travel is now a reality. SpaceX hopes that the mission will build up a new line of business of commercial trips to the stars. Before ending, we go to the Euro-Bangla city SATV news headlines again. Bangladesh Bureau of Statistics for the first time will collect demographic and biometric data of all citizens. BNP chairperson Khaltezia's jail term suspension in 2 corruption cases extended for 6 more months. Journalists will demonstrate nationwide on September 23rd, protesting BFRU move seeking bank account details. We are up to date so far here on Euro-Bangla City SATV News, and to know the latest news, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with SATV.